I've officially started my Tog journey, my Throne of Glass journey. I just finished the first book last night. I mostly listened to the audiobook of it. I didn't actually physically read very much of it. I really enjoyed the audiobook, I will say. So if anyone's considering doing that, I listened to it through the Libby app. First reaction to this book is just seeing how far SJM has come, because I've read all of ACOTAR multiple times and I've read Crescent City, and to read this, which is only 400 pages, like for an SJM book, I feel like this is unheard of in modern days. Yeah, I mean, it's a good, succinct, small book with a very condensed, edited story, which I feel like is not really how she writes now. So I will say I was a little surprised reading this just because I've read a lot of her other work. And knowing this is like one of the very first things that she wrote, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, like it makes sense. It makes sense that this is where she started, and like now we get Crescent City 1, which was super intense. For reference, I haven't read Assassin's Blade yet. I started with Throne of Glass. I'm going to save Assassin's Blade for third, so there's still a lot of information I don't know. Also, because I am in the Massverse fandom, I have seen videos online and things like that. So, like, I know a little bit of the characters and kind of like what happens to a very small degree. So, I am very curious about some things because reading the first book does not lead me to understand what is happening in later chapters. I do have a question though for those of you that have finished Tog. I'm committed to this journey, okay? I bought the whole like 8-part series because I knew I was going to end up reading all the books. But when do I become invested? Because I can't say this one book makes me feel invested right now. Like, I'm curious, but not invested, can't put it down. When does that happen? Like, what book in this 8-book series will that happen? Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. I like SJM a lot, and I don't know if I'm becoming like a more astute reader or if I'm just more used to how SJM writes, but I feel like as I was reading it or listening to it, I was like, ooh, that's going to be important later. That's going to be important later. Like, I could kind of pick up on a lot of her Easter eggs, and a lot of them ended up being true. So again, I don't know if I'm more of an astute reader or if this was just super predictable or if I'm just more familiar with her writing. So those are just some of my thoughts on A Throne of Glass. I got through it, I think, in like 2.5 days. It didn't take me very long to read it, and I imagine the next couple books I'll probably get through pretty quickly as well. So by middle of next week, I'll probably have at least the first 3 read.